Northport City Commissioners trying to be proactive to meet the needs of one of the fastest growing cities in Florida. They're looking at a 5-year plan to improve emergency services.
In 2015, Northport's population was just over 64,000 people. By 2025, more than 91,000 people are expected to live there. And with that new multi-million-dollar Atlanta Braves spring training facility being built, that number is expected to keep growing. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo tells us what the city is doing to enhance its emergency services.
Northport City Commission, as well as the city's fire chief, Scott Titus, are looking to improve service to more than 100 square miles of city.
But the population is continuing to grow, and as you see the articles come out, you know, one of the fastest growing communities, I think probably top 10 or 15 in the country. A year ago, I think it was top 10, and a lot of that is attributed to the growth in the West Villages area.
The West Villages is a development area where a multi-million-dollar spring training complex for the Atlanta Braves is being built. The plan calls for the city to take over operations of a fire station that is currently controlled by the county. It's a plan, Titus says, that may not be a heavy burden to taxpayers.
We've put in for a SAFER grant, which is a federal grant for 21 positions. We're waiting to hear on that. We hope to hear something in the next month as to whether or not we'll be successful on that. It helps fund those positions and bring them on instead of having to absorb that cost immediately over a 1-year period or phase in over 2 years.
Providing a different service model for efficiency.
So we looked at when calls come in during certain periods of time. And our peak call time during the day is, you know, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so as we grow, we'll be looking at peak time ambulances and 12-hour response crews instead of 24-hour response crews.
In addition, expanding from basic life support to advanced life support, or ALS, in the city's 5 other stations.
Currently, right now, 3 out of 5 of our fire stations have ALS fire apparatus. And what that means is they can do the exact same thing that an ambulance can, they just can't transport. And so we're looking to expand that over the next several years to provide ALS coverage off of all those fire apparatus. So,
where Northport Commissioner Jill Luke is concerned, the improvements make coverage universal throughout the city.
We have strategically placed our fire departments in the locations that they need to be so that we can be there at least 90% of the time under 8 minutes. This just enhances it and takes it to that next level so that we're servicing the residents of our city with the highest quality of service that we can.
That was Dwayne Lindo reporting. Officials say it's a long-term process and they are looking at potential growth areas across Northport and making changes as needed.
New video shows a Holmes Beach burglary suspect. Police releasing these videos today. Last week, police say a woman returned to her home on 75th Street to find a man inside her bedroom. Police say the burglar attacked the woman, knocking her down, and then took off. Police say he was driving a 2000 to 2003 gray Nissan Maxima. He's described as white and around 6 feet tall.
Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a fire that happened last Friday in Bradenton. Deputies say several neighbors saw 2 unknown black males at the home on 18th Street West, then saw a large plume of smoke come from the carport. Witnesses say the 2 males got into a blue or gray sedan and then took off. The state fire marshal responded and is now conducting an arson investigation.
Tonight, 2 people are behind bars after video of a fight in the middle of Cortez Road went viral on Facebook. Deputies were called to the intersection of Cortez and 14th Street West on Monday for reports of people fighting. The video shows 2 people outside of a vehicle fighting each other while a third repeatedly hits the passenger in the car. Deputies arresting 18-year-old Willie Edwards and 21-year-old Marcavia Jenkins after the 2 were being treated for injuries at an area hospital. Both are charged with criminal mischief and aggravated battery. That fight was caught on camera. You can watch the video on our app by searching for WWSB or My Suncoast in your app store. You can also get the latest weather updates by downloading the ABC 7 First Alert Weather app.
Right now, a big 4th of July celebration is happening on the Suncoast, and it is already underway. People are gathering at Nathan Benderson Park for July 4th fireworks, a celebration a day early.
ABC 7's Rick Adams is there now and joins us live with a look at the festivities and some stormy weather moving in too. Rick?
Yeah, guys, hi there. The gates opened here about an hour ago, and things are really starting to look ominous here with this big storm moving in. And a band back there was supposed to be playing right at the moment. There was a big crowd waiting for this band to start, and they informed people to head to their vehicles to find cover until the storm passes. There's lightning and thunder making its way over to Nathan Benderson Park right at the moment. And they do believe this will pass shortly, and they are still expecting a very big crowd for tonight's fireworks, which start at 9:30. And if you're heading this way later, there are some things you can and can't bring into the park.
Obviously, here on the island, no coolers or outside food and beverage. If you have dogs, you want to have them on a 6-foot leash. So really outside of that, and obviously we don't want weapons and people bringing fireworks of their own. So, but outside of that, you can bring in your other supplies and anything that you need to get you through. Bring some sunscreen for the rest of the sunlight, and maybe a little bug spray in case the skeeters come out.
Sarah, his wife's coming down here too.
And we are being told you can bring an umbrella in as well. And again, once the storm passes, organizers of the event feel things will be back to normal. And again, the fireworks will kick off at 9:30 tonight. And there are still a lot of vendors here, and they're still expecting the bands to go on and all that other good stuff. And as the storm's getting closer here, I'm going to find cover for myself. There's thunder and lightning coming in. We'll have a lot more on this coming up later on tonight at 6 and 11. Reporting live from Nathan Benderson Park, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Stay safe, and we will continue to keep you all updated on those storms. As you make your 4th of July plans, don't forget about your pets. More pets run away on the 4th of July than any other day of the year. So it comes as no surprise that the best place for your pets during loud celebrations is safely inside their own homes. Fireworks, big crowds, lots of people, they can all be terrifying and stressful for your furry friends. Be sure to keep pets in a safe place inside, close the doors and windows, and leave a TV on for some noise. Also, keep your pets far away from sparklers. As minor as they seem, they can burn up to 2,000 degrees, which is similar to a blowtorch.
Many people hitting the road today to get where they're going for the holiday, and that means some major roads could be busy. Sarasota Police reminding drivers to be cautious on our roadways. Make sure to drive the speed limit, use your seat belts, and most importantly, keep your cell phones out of your hands. This isn't just for those traveling to and from the Suncoast, also those looking to enjoy local activities like the fireworks shows along the Bayfront, which draws thousands of people each year.
And so we encourage people to arrive early, plan for extra traffic. If you are going to be heading down to the Bayfront and you do get there early, just plan for a little extra time getting out of there after the fireworks are over, because there are thousands of people that are going to be down there enjoying it, both on boats as well as setting up chairs at the Bayfront.
If you've been drinking and don't think you can drive, AAA will pick you and your car up whether you're a AAA member or not. A tow truck will take you and your car home as long as it's within a 10-mile radius. The Tow-to-Go service starts today and will last on through July 5th, Thursday at 6 a.m. Coming up, a race against the clock to save a soccer team from a cave in Thailand. What options are now being considered and what risks still lay ahead?
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with what we can expect for those storms coming in tonight, plus how air pollution could increase your diabetes risk. All that and more coming up next.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Patriotic Spectacular July 4th, 4:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Choral Artists of Sarasota's annual Independence Day celebration features traditional patriotic favorites, plus a choral salute to the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein and a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. narrated by Nate Jacobs. Come for the concert and stay for the fireworks over Sarasota Bay. Tickets at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money. So there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
Rescuers in Thailand are now facing the difficult task of getting the 12 young boys and their soccer coach safely out of a flooded cave. The entire team was found alive 10 days after they went missing. Divers promising more help is on the way, with 7 Navy SEALs, including a doctor and a nurse, staying with the group.
And so what medics are doing is staying with them and giving them what they can. We've been handed these packs by the US military, so they will mix these up, give them to them, try and build up their strength to get them out of that cave.
Well, that could take weeks or even months, according to authorities who maintain safety is paramount. Officials are weighing several rescue strategies, knowing weather will likely play a major factor in their planning. So at this point, authorities say the key for them is to not rush anything. They are now installing a phone line so the boys can talk to their parents while these rescue efforts continue.
A wildfire that's threatening 700 homes and buildings in Northern California continues to grow as firefighters struggle in rough terrain to contain it. ABC's Alex Stone shows us the devastation it's leaving behind.
The firefight across the west right now intense, and firefighters say this fire activity is unusual so early in the fire season. In Northern California's Yolo County, 70,000 acres have burned in what's called the county fire. Residents have been fleeing the flames.
The rates of spread were dangerous and they were explosive.
In Yolo County, firefighters have only a small amount of containment. Some residents are refusing to leave.
Making sure that when I wake up in the morning, if the house is on fire, that I know I did my best.
The beast of a fire eating up tinder dry brush. In eastern Utah, hundreds are evacuated as wind fans these flames.
It's heartbreaking that we might lose it.
And in southern Colorado, the spring fire has burned almost 80,000 acres along with at least 104 homes.
Total devastation. It looked like Hiroshima had another A-bomb dropped on it.
Ellen and Larry Booth have lost just about everything.
I had a house full of antiques. I had my grandmother's stove. I had paintings that my mother painted in college that were 80 years old.
Now ash and concrete are all that remain. It's early in the fire season, and already firefighters are exhausted.
Both physically and mentally, it can become very taxing. You're going to see folks in fire camp that essentially have been bounced from fire to fire to fire.
And unfortunately for firefighters here in the West, temperatures are only expected to go up. This week, California will bake with temperatures above 100 degrees, making for even more explosive conditions. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, Bob Harrigan joins us now. Bob, We are back into the summer pattern, aren't we, in a big
Yeah,
way?
it's a little bit more enhanced because of this upper level feature. We talked about it yesterday, moving across state.
Right.
Same thing can be said tomorrow, too. We're going to see a line of intense storms. Let's go to the maps real quick. We have a lot to talk about. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing you a nice day, though, for the most part. It's been partly cloudy to mostly sunny, warm temperatures. Not as hot as the northeast, but still there. And then look at the rain coming in. It's raining at Lakewood Ranch right now. Lightning, dangerous lightning around. And you can see that upper level low spinning right there. It is just to the east of the state. That'll work west on and through Wednesday, 4th of July. And we're going to continue to see this easterly flow, which will butt up against that sea breeze, which will develop. And we'll see an explosive line of showers and storms. Now, I mentioned earlier, a good thing is that most of this is going to be out of the way by 9 o'clock. So the fireworks should not be a problem at Nathan Benderson tonight. But boy, the fireworks are happening right now, and it's really intensifying. Folks, get indoors, especially if you're out here in Sarasota, downtown, Lido, all the beaches. You're going to see some dangerous lightning, and you could get some bolts from the blue in this kind of situation. We already start to see some of that out ahead of the rain there. Osprey, you're getting the rainfall now. Also near Heritage Oaks, all the way up and through Waterbury and Parrish. Just a tremendous lightning display right now going on with that particular cell. And a lot of positive strikes, too. Out of all of those 388 strikes in the last 15 minutes, 171 have been positive, and those are the stronger ones. In this particular cell right here, near and approaching Lakewood Ranch, we've had 208 strikes just within the last 15 minutes. And then Northport, although still getting the heavy rainfall there, it's going to be lessening as this is pushing pretty quickly off to the west. Right now, through Inglewood, 322 strikes, 174 of those positive right now. And you'll notice the motion is off to the southwest. So as I mentioned, they'll move pretty quickly out into the Gulf of Mexico, and then we'll see some light rain kind of lingering behind it for a little while. I think most of it will be over, though, by 9 o'clock. There will be some residual showers along the east coast and into central Florida, but should not be a factor for us here along the west coast of Florida. Tomorrow, the timing of the storms may be a little bit different, so we'll see how that plays out. We may get them a little bit earlier in the afternoon, and then again, another round could come in later in the evening due to this upper level low. And you see it spinning right there quite clearly. Though there's some dry air with it, we are still seeing enough lift in the upper levels of the atmosphere to create a little bit more instability in our atmosphere. South of Bermuda, a large flare-up of storms there has the potential for developing into a tropical system. And this one's too close to land near New Orleans and Houston, but still producing a lot of rainfall there. 30% chance of developing, not a big problem. A front will catch it and take it out into the Atlantic and will not allow that to develop. Current conditions, we have cloudy skies, 88 degrees, but that's soon to change. Heat index at 99. That's another benefit of these showers. It'll cool things off for outdoor activities later on this evening. Tomorrow's forecast, we do it all over again, but maybe a few more storms around the 3 o'clock hour. And then 6 to 7, I think a pretty good bet of seeing some storms around, and the heat index won't be into the hundreds like they're seeing right now in actual temperature in Dallas. 94 in Kansas City. It's 96 in Washington right now. Boston at 96 degrees. And highs tomorrow will stay warm, although cooler in Boston. 90 in Washington, Cleveland at 90, 90 in Chicago. And there's not much relief in terms of any significant storm system to cool things down there, although Boston will get a little bit cooler tomorrow. For boaters tomorrow, winds look to be out of the east at 5 knots to 10 knots, and then switching around to the west with that sea breeze developing in the afternoon. And we'll have a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then through the 4th of July. Looks good throughout most of the morning and early afternoon, although we could see a few, as I mentioned, around 3, and then better chances, say, around 6 to 7. 40% chance on Thursday, and then we go anywhere from a 40 to 50% chance for the remainder of the work week and into the weekend as well. Pretty typical here in Florida. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's check first alert traffic. Right now, we're seeing traffic moving slowly through downtown Sarasota. This is along US 301. Backups both north and southbound right around that Fruitville Road intersection. Jacqueline?
Scott, in health news tonight, in vitro fertilization has changed countless lives across the world and also created millions of new lives since it was introduced 4 decades ago. A new report estimates 8 million babies have been born as a result of IVF and other advanced fertility treatments since 1978. The in vitro process involves extracting a woman's eggs and fertilizing them outside of the body. The egg then becomes a viable embryo and can be placed in a woman's uterus, where it grows into a fetus and is then carried to term. New research links outdoor air pollution, even at levels deemed safe, to an increased risk of diabetes. The findings raise the possibility that reducing pollution may lead to a drop in diabetes cases in heavily polluted countries such as India and less polluted ones such as the United States. Overall, researchers estimated that pollution contributed to more than 3 million new diabetes cases globally in 2016, which represents about 14% of all new diabetes cases that year. Coming up, how a bus carrying a group of teens caught fire on the highway, and a traffic camera catches the moment a woman falls out of a moving SUV. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
A bus carrying a group of teens back from a church retreat catches fire on the side of the highway.
You can see flames shooting from the back of the charter bus just outside of Newberry, South Carolina. That bus had dozens of Jacksonville students on board. At first they thought the smoke was from a flat tire, but quickly realized it was the engine that was on fire. The front door was too close to the guardrail to fully open, so only a few were able to squeeze out. Most of the others had to be helped out of the emergency windows. 11 students were released after being evaluated at a hospital. An electrical problem on the bus may have caused that fire. Hillsborough County authorities are investigating after a woman appears to fall out of an SUV.
Take a look. The driver stops and gets out and picks up the woman, who appears to be unconscious and injured. The driver then puts her back into the vehicle and drives away. Investigators say they've now spoken with everyone involved. The passenger told them it was an accident and she is okay.
Well, an unusual police chase left cars gridlocked in Seattle as a small dog took police for a wild adventure Monday morning. Traffic cameras caught all the action as police, even some drivers, tried to capture the loose pup. Eventually, that dog became tired and then ran into a group of bushes. It was finally captured about 3 hours after that chase began.
You would
Smaller
think
they are.
Right.
Yeah, the harder they are to catch,
I was thinking the
seems.
same thing. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, new details in the Gazette newspaper shooting in Maryland. The letter written by the suspect showing his intent to kill.
And 2 workers shot near a Kansas elementary school. What we know about the victims and the suspect at large tonight.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. We are monitoring some very strong storms on the Suncoast right now.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
Yeah, the good news is that they're moving pretty quickly, so they'll get out of here in time for some of the fireworks that are going on this evening. Looks like that line is very intense all the way from Pinellas County southward down into Lee County and Fort Myers, but right here in Manatee and Sarasota counties, it's coming down fairly heavy, and we've had gusty winds and frequent dangerous lightning occurring with these cells. You can see that explosion of storms. The East Coast breeze and that little upper level low combining with that West Coast sea breeze really exploded these storms right here along the coast. And again, that rain is heavy all across western portions of Manatee and Sarasota counties, even into central Sarasota County right now. And you can see that rainfall now entering downtown Sarasota, and our live lightning showing quite a few lightning strikes occurring, as you see right there. Right now on the area beaches, you want to clear those immediately as lightning is heading in your direction. Number of strikes just in this area alone in the last 10 minutes have been 407 strikes, with 107 of those becoming, positive strikes, which are much more dangerous, and the amperage are much more higher. Those are the blue strikes that you see right there, intermixed with the light strikes, and then those are the negative strikes. Now, Palmetto, you're getting heavy rain. Ellington, also some tremendous rainfall there with some frequent lightning strikes all the way through Lakewood Ranch, and then down south into Inglewood, Tarpon Point, Northport. It's lessening, but still dangerous out there. A lot of people are hit by lightning is after the storm has passed, so keep that in mind. You want to wait at least 30 minutes after the last thunder before you resume your outdoor activities. And again, all that pushing to the southwest. Now we're checking out some of this. This is a small hail being reported, and now an update now from the radar showing the possibility of small hail exists just to the east of Onico, and also right around Inglewood, just to the west of Northport. Some Doppler indicated hail being reported there. And we had a little rotation, nothing going down to the surface. There haven't been any reports of severe weather at this point. And as far as the hail goes, a Titan impact of 3. And you can see some of the hail where it could be right now near Taylor Ranch Elementary into near Northport, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office as well. And it looks like Station 22 Fire Department. This is the hail forecast. Again, a lot of this hail forecast is a result of what we may see as hail, but also could be melted before it reaches the ground. This is Doppler indicated hail in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So again, the forecast does call for all this to come to an end after around 7 o'clock tonight. We should start to see some clearing skies by 9:30, and that looks good for the fireworks at Nathan Benderson Park. Although they're in a delay right now, I'm certain of it, and folks are taking shelter in their automobiles, hopefully. We are looking for a better evening, though. Once we get through this hour, I would say, things will improve drastically across the Sun Coast as this all kind of heads off into the Gulf of Mexico. Another round, though, in store for us on the 4th. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Police in Overland Park, Kansas, investigating a shooting near an elementary school. School is out right now, so no students were hurt, but police say 2 contractors were shot at Sunrise Point Elementary School. The injured workers were taken to a hospital in critical condition. The men were there to install turf on the school's playground.
Police say the suspect is a fellow contractor. He took off after carjacking a black GMC Denali. Police are currently looking for that vehicle.
New details tonight in the Gazette newspaper shooting in Maryland. There are reports of a letter indicating the suspect, Jared Ramos, went to the newspaper's office with the intent of killing everyone present. Former Capitol editor Thomas Marquardt says a former lawyer for the paper told him about the letter, which was sent to a Maryland judge. The letter was dated June 28th, the same day as the shooting, and was formatted like a legal filing. President Trump ordered flags to be flown at half-staff today in honor of the 5 people killed in that shooting.
Now to the showdown over the Supreme Court. President Donald Trump interviewing potential justice nominees this week as he gears up to announce his pick to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. ABC's Arlette Saenz joins us with a look at those nominees.
President Trump hasn't even made his pick yet, but the battle over the next Supreme Court justice is heating up. The president has met face-to-face with 4 potential nominees: Judge Brett Kavanaugh, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, Judge Amol Thapar, and Judge Raymond Kethledge.
They are outstanding people. They are really incredible people in so many different ways, academically and every other way.
The president also interviewed Republican Senator Mike Lee by phone, and he's expected to talk with 2 more contenders, federal Judge Thomas Hardiman and appellate court Judge Joan Larson. Outside groups are already ramping up the pressure. ABC News has learned anti-abortion rights groups and activists are lobbying senior White House officials against Kavanaugh and arguing in favor of Barrett. An abortion rights group is readying this ad targeting Maine Senator Susan Collins, who could be a critical swing vote.
A candidate for this important position who would overturn Roe v. Wade would not be acceptable to me, because that would indicate an activist agenda that I don't want to see a judge have.
With Republicans holding a slim majority in the Senate, there's little margin for error.
If he can keep Republicans together, he's able to get his pick. And critically, he can lean on some red state Democrats who want to show that they're close to President Trump, potentially to confirm his justice.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hopes to have a justice confirmed by the start of the Supreme Court's next term in October. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
The eastern U.S. heat wave is pushing into the 4th of July holiday. Nearly 60 million people under a heat advisory or warning today. The recent heat wave has left at least one person dead, 2 other deaths under investigation right now. The scorching temperatures and humidity expected through Independence Day again. Advisories and warnings stretching from central Virginia all the way into eastern Maine. Well, here on the Suncoast, nearly 50,000 people in Manatee County don't always know where their next meal is coming from. And while the Food Bank of Manatee County used to supply groceries to local pantries, another group, Feeding Tampa Bay, is changing the way food is distributed.
ABC 7's Jackie Kelly tells us what this means for those pantries.
Folks walk through that door and they come to this table to get this food. And this food supply is no longer reliable, in my opinion.
Gene Tischer is a board member for Still Point Mission, one of the pantries in Manatee County affected by the change. Under Feeding Tampa Bay's new guidelines, pantries can pick up food directly from the agency's warehouse. They can pay a fee to have it delivered, or they can go to an assigned store for donations. Tischer says the last option is no longer reliable, with just 20% of the food he picked up on Monday being usable.
You never know what you're going to get at the store. Food Bank of Manatee used to go out and get all that food and bring it back to the warehouse and pack it up so we knew exactly what we were going to get each time we went to Food Bank of Manatee. Just the stuff we needed for our clients.
However, Feeding Tampa Bay says its model has worked in places such as Pasco and Polk County.
We've seen more food get increased into the county. We've been able to enable agencies to pick up directly from stores, which allows them to build that relationship locally, and we keep that food in the county as well.
And while a relationship is being built locally with stores, Tischer says more manual labor is involved than before, which is harder because most volunteers, he says, are older.
But yesterday at Walmart, I was in an alley loading these boxes, some of which weighed 50 pounds, over the 4-foot height of my pickup truck and dropping into the bed of my pickup truck. I have to load it all by myself.
That was Jackie Kelly reporting. Still Point Mission says they hope that the Food Bank of Manatee County will be reinstated as their primary source.
An update now on a new resort being built by Allegiant Airlines in Charlotte County. Allegiant says it's buying Kingsway Country Club to complement the resort. Kingsway is located in Lake Susie, east of both Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. Allegiant reports the 42-year-old club's membership voted to accept the offer on Saturday. The sale is expected to close in August. Allegiant is building its 25-plus acre resort on the Charlotte Harbor Peace River waterfront. It's expected to have nearly 1,500 hotel rooms and condos.
During his visit to Kuwait, Governor Rick Scott awarded 4 Florida Army Reserve National Guard soldiers with the Governor's Medal of Merit. One of the recipients, Staff Sergeant Christopher Kreitz, is from Northport and is currently on his 3rd deployment. He has served for more than 18 years and is retiring soon. Staff Sergeant Kreitz lives in Northport with his wife and 4 children.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, do you know what it takes to maintain a healthy weight? Well, a new study shows us how Americans misunderstand how to lose weight.
Plus, why customers are boycotting Walmart for new merchandise being sold on its website.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money. So there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Sun Coast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Millions of Americans struggle with their weight. Most will say they know how to eat right, but Reed Binion shows us a new study that sheds light on how Americans understand weight loss.
Many Americans struggle with separating weight loss fact from fiction. Results from a Fat IQ survey show a broad misunderstanding of how to lose weight.
Over 85% of people thought they knew what to do and thought they knew about basic dietary facts. But in fact, over half of America flunked.
The survey, conducted for personalized healthcare provider MDVIP, quizzed participants on their understanding of how weight is influenced by diet and physical exercise. Even if you think you understand how food impacts your body, talk to your doctor to determine what might keep you from your weight loss goals.
Everybody's different. Some people need to go low carbohydrate, higher fat. Some people need to do the opposite. But your specific body type, your doctor will know best.
Weight loss plans aren't one size fits all. Everyone's diet and bodies are different. So if you're trying to shed those extra pounds, make an appointment with your doctor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Hawaii may set a trend when it comes to potentially harmful sunscreens. It's set to become the first state in the U.S. to ban the sale of sunscreens considered harmful to coral reefs. Oxybenzone and octinoxate are found in many commercial sunblocks. The ban would take effect in the year 2021. Companies that sell these products with those chemicals will either have to stop selling them or reformulate them without the chemicals. People could still get sunscreens containing those chemicals by prescription. The sunblock industry is pushing back, suggesting the ban will cause fewer people to use sunscreen, which would increase the risk of skin cancer.
Now your ABC forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
The rumble of thunder out there right now, heavy rain, gusty winds, 40 miles an hour, even the possibility of some small hail, although that's not as much of a chance as you're going to see that dangerous lightning. This is Lakewood Ranch over the past 30 minutes or so. It's been raining heavy there. Obviously, a big deal going on at the Nathan Benderson Park tonight, and we're expecting that rain to move on through. Some unbelievable photos sent in. David Kreimer getting this one as the storms are approaching. That shelf cloud right there, and boy, some tremendous rain there in Venice, looking off to the east, right there with Old Glory right there. Perfect for 4th of July, and you can see that line of intense storms are making its way right across the west coast of Florida, enhanced by this upper level low just to the east of the state, which will be slowly trekking across the state throughout the day tomorrow as well. So we can expect another round of afternoon and evening thunderstorms like we're seeing right now. Boy, an intense line of heavy weather now in Sarasota near the airport, stretching down to downtown, Siesta Key, Osprey, even into Bradenton now. Not as much into northwest Bradenton, but that is going to change here in a little bit. Parrish, light rain, but still some lightning out there, so be careful of that. Even though the rain may come to a light end there, it's not a good idea to head outdoors until you can not hear that thunder anymore. Lakewood Ranch, you're just about at the edge of the heavy rainfall. So another half hour or so, I think most of the heavy rain will be over there. It's lessening already. And then the tremendous lightning strikes near the Gulf Gate Estates up through South Sarasota, Siesta Key, all the way down into Turtle Beach. And into Casey Key. Heavier weather down south. Northport, you're getting some moderate rain now. You had some strong cells earlier. Those have since pushed to Englewood and into Venice and Nokomis, getting some rain. A little break right there north of Venice and Minnesota, but still a lot of rain around. These are big storms. You can tell this is the 3D look and slice through these storms now, up to 50,000 feet. We had been barely getting to 30, sometimes 40,000 as of late, but these are much stronger due to that upper level low spinning nearby. And when you get to that level, you can bet you're going to get some very dangerous lightning and some heavy rainfall, even the possibility of small hail when they extend that far up. 45,000 foot storm. This one's coming down just a little bit now. It's at 50,000, but just a minute ago it was a much larger area. So the new radar sweep indicating that these storms are, I know it doesn't look like it, are weakening somewhat. Still very dangerous, however, with those 40-mile-an-hour winds. There have been no reports of any severe weather at this point, but would not be surprised to hear some limbs down or some branches down as a result of those 40-mile-an-hour winds. We look for this rain to continue into the Gulf of Mexico. Some light rain will linger. It'll stick around for a little while, and then it should be out of here, though, in time for the fireworks to go off at the park, and looks like things will stay pretty quiet throughout the day tomorrow. We're looking for generally sunny skies to start today. Most of the afternoon should be okay, and then we'll see those storms redeveloping, say after 3, 4 o'clock, with this upper level low kind of intensifying those storms. And it looks as though we will see that stick around throughout the 4th and even into possibly Thursday. Well, this is a tropical system the Hurricane Center is watching. No big concern to the U.S. as a frontal system will kind of catch this and not allow it to develop as it pushes off toward the north and eventually off to the northeast. Currently, it's cool, though. That's one of the benefits of these afternoon storms. It cools down after high today into the low 90s. Now, as far as the boaters are concerned, it looks like this. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, east winds turning to the west, and they'll be at 10 knots to start today, subside to 5 knots in the late afternoon. As far as the forecast goes for 7 days, it looks like Florida, showers and thunderstorms each and every day. High temperatures in the low 90s, lows into the mid 70s. Some of these storms will contain some very heavy rainfall and gusty winds up to nearly 40 miles an hour. Well, much more coming up at 6. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Right now, the heavy rain looks like it is causing some backups on the interstate. The north and southbound lanes are slow going on I-75 from Bee Ridge Road down past the Clark Road exit. Scott?
Thanks, Jacqueline. In consumer news, prices are going up for dozens of drugs. Pfizer announcing price hikes for drugs that treat everything from blood pressure to lung cancer. This is the second time this year Pfizer has raised prices on drugs, and some of the price increases are now topping 10%.
Walmart is taking heat for a line of anti-Trump merchandise sold on its website. Third-party companies produced the, quote, Impeach 45 and Impeach Trump items. Trump supporters voicing their frustration about those items on social media. Some even threatening to boycott the retail giant. It appears Walmart has since taken the products off of its website. The retailer still sells Make America Great Again and Donald Trump Speaks for Me apparel.
A new report claims Starbucks is not doing enough to combat racial bias. The data was put together by 2 civil rights experts, and it comes about a month after the coffee chain shut down its stores nationwide for training. The legal counsel for the NAACP says 1 day's worth of instruction is not sufficient. Starbucks is also advised to hire an independent racial equity consultant to prevent similar problems in the future. The situation brewed after an incident in April when 2 black men were arrested inside a Starbucks as they were just waiting for a friend.
Some good news for online shoppers. Amazon Prime Day is expanding this year. It gets underway on July 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and will last 36 hours. That's 6 hours more than it was last year. The last Amazon Prime Day was the largest sales day ever for Amazon, with tens of millions of purchases made. There are more than 100 million Prime members, and if you're interested in joining, the new price tag is $119 per year, a 20% hike from last year.
They have a lot of deals, so
I know, they are pretty good.
Entertainment news is next.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it. using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
A former Sarasota resident who is now a working actress in Hollywood has some strong opinions about Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement.
Chelsea Gonzalez says the entire atmosphere among agents and casting directors has changed 100% since that movement began last year. She says she's had several off-color experiences that she now feels free to talk about.
There was an agent at CAA who once was like messaging me about stuff and ended up like saying in a message to me, I work for CAA, I'll help your career. And I ended up, like, when the whole Me Too movement happened, I posted a screenshot of it. I blocked out his name, which who knows if that's a good idea or not, but I posted about it. And I got like an overwhelming response of support and people being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is what's really happening.
Gonzalez graduated from Out of Door Academy and has since appeared in several TV shows and movies.
Comedian Andy Dick is facing charges of misdemeanor sexual battery and simple battery after he was accused of groping a woman in April. The Los Angeles City Attorney filed the 2 misdemeanor charges and is seeking an arrest warrant. Dick is set to be arraigned July 18th. TMZ is reporting that the woman told police the comedian touched her inappropriately and made lewd comments as he walked past her on a sidewalk. Andy Dick has not commented on those allegations.
The Songwriters Hall of Fame has a new legendary songwriter as chairman. Funkmaster Nile Rodgers, the 65-year-old co-founder of the band Chic, says that he will now try to serve with all his heart. Behind the scenes as a producer, Rodgers has worked with Madonna, Sam Smith, Daft Punk, David Bowie, Diana Ross, and much more.
Well, singer Sheryl Crow has announced her last album, and it's going to take you back in time. The album will feature artists like Stevie Nicks, Johnny Cash, Keith Richards, and more. In an interview, Crow alluded to her record as a collaboration with her lifelong heroes. She believes albums, though, are a dying art form and has decided to focus instead on singles like her recently released song, Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. Crow is known for covering topics like gun control, opposing war, and saving the environment. She says the last album has been inspired by current events and issues and is set for release sometime next year.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather after the break.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Patriotic Spectacular July 4th, 4:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Choral Artists of Sarasota's annual Independence Day celebration features traditional patriotic favorites, plus a choral salute to the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein and a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. narrated by Nate Jacobs. Come for the concert and stay for the fireworks over Sarasota Bay. Tickets at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than